This is why, going back to our history of who we are and our resiliency, we're used to this. We were the underdog since the 1700s. We were the underdog. When France thought they could just come here and do whatever they want with us, okay, Brazil's going to think they're going to come and do whatever they want with us too. So will Morocco. And it'll be up to us to show them why we were the first when everyone thought we were the 48th.
So I did a recent episode about the US national team and talked about them as sort of maybe in the past being an underdog. Today we're going to be talking about a real underdog in really every sense of the word, sports and politics, and that is Haiti. Haiti did exceedingly well to qualify directly as one of the North and Central American teams. There are 4 debutantes at this World Cup, but Haiti's not actually one of them. They qualified once before in 1974, went out in the group stage with 0 points. And things are stacked against them once again in being drawn in a pretty tough group with Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. In fact, The Athletic did an official ranking of all the 48 teams, and they chose Haiti as 48 of 48. But of course, the story is deeper than just what's going on the field. They have a lot more stacked against them pretty unfairly. Haiti's been a real target of the Trump administration. Just for some context, Haiti is a very poor country, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. About half of the population live below the poverty line. There is a lot of violence and political instability. Should be mentioned that a lot of this is because of French and US occupations. There's a stat that during the US occupation in the early 20th century, they stripped away about 40% of Haiti's wealth, which is essentially deprived the country of path to prosperity. There was then a devastating earthquake in 2010, which may have killed up to 160,000 people. It's meant that conditions are very difficult in Haiti, and it puts a lot of reliance on Haitian Americans in the US. The Haitian American community has done very well for themselves, but a lot of their family and friends in Haiti rely on remittances. Now, in the face of all that adversity, the Trump administration has really targeted Haitians. Some of it seems just extremely personal from Donald Trump. They were the target of that shithole countries comment during his first term. He has said that Haitians, quote, probably have AIDS, that they may be poisoning the blood of America. And of course, probably most famously, on the presidential debate stage in 2024, launched an attack on Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, who he claimed were, quote, eating cats and dogs. So the Trump administration has looked to strip Haitians of temporary protected status that a lot of Haitians were granted in the US after the earthquake. He's looked to end that program and send ICE in to places like Springfield, Ohio. At the same time, Haiti is one of the countries with a blanket travel ban. So Haitians will not be able to come from Haiti for the World Cup or otherwise. What does that mean for the World Cup team? Well, they won't have the supporters that they would hope. But in contrast to the US team that we talked about a little while ago, maybe they will have the support of the world, the wider international community, for being such an underdog in adversity. I'm sure the players on the field will be playing with a pep in their step to represent the people. I really wanted to talk about some of the quote-unquote minnows in this World Cup. I thought Haiti was the one that's really facing, I think, the brute force of all of Trump's most acutely harmful policies. So my guest today is Sam Pierre, who's the executive director of the Haitian-American Caucus, a group based in New York and New Jersey, who help provide economic and social self-sufficiency for both Haitian Americans and Haitians in Haiti. And so Sam joined me to, first of all, dispel some of the myths that we're hearing, give his opinion on working with Trump. Some of the answers might surprise you. And then about all things Haiti and World Cup. So here's my chat with Sam Pierre. Sam, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what the Haitian American Caucus is and what work you guys do?
Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Pierre. I'm the executive director of the Haitian-American Caucus. We are a community development nonprofit organization with the mission to provide Afro-Caribbean and Haitian communities all over the world with access to information and resources through workshops and programs to help them become successful.
Obviously, we're going to be talking about the World Cup and Haiti and all that. But just to start with, can you tell us a little bit about the Haitian American community in America?
Oh, absolutely. So, the Haitian American community in America is very unique. Most Haitians that come from Haiti migrate to Miami. They migrate to Miami because Miami is 2 hours away. And then they start to travel north. So some of them head to Atlanta, then some of them head to Philadelphia. The second actually biggest location that has the most Haitian population is New York.
What was that?
I don't know. I thought that this only happened on iPhones where like when you do certain movements
Oh,
that things happen. Yeah, I didn't know it would happen
no,
on a,
that's
on
fun.
the on
What
a
what
Zoom.
what was the movement? What did you do?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me. Like sometimes like if you put like a heart,
Yeah,
right? Then hearts would come. Sometimes if you move your hand, then balloons would come. Like I only thought that happened on iPhone. I didn't think it would happen on
that's
Zoom.
great. No, that's amazing. Sorry, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're saying that a lot start in Miami and then some move
Yes.
up.
They go to New York and then Boston. So the migration is Florida, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, Boston.
I'd love to get a sense because there's so much in the media and on social media, misinformation and untruths about Haiti and about Haitian Americans. What does the diaspora do? What do a lot of people do for work? And are they a successful community that contribute quite a bit to the economy?
Yes, absolutely. So hospitality, healthcare, those are our go-to. So you'll find many Haitian Americans in hospitality, whether it's the hotels, the restaurants. You'll have a lot of cab drivers, right? Ubers, Lyfts, taxi limousines. You'll have a lot of those. You'll have a lot of doormen, bellmen, bellboys. That's ours. Those are all our industries. And then we travel over to the healthcare side. So nurses, right? You're gonna have the Haitian nurses, and you're gonna have a lot of Haitian doctors as well, right? I'm very proud to say that we do have a lot of doctors in the Haitian community. And then we have our elites, the top of the top. So you have your doctors, your lawyers, your engineers, some professional services, right? So taxes. You have some consultants, a few nonprofits like myself, my organization here and there, and then the religious, obviously, right? You're gonna have a large sector that go into the religious side, pastors, preachers, things like that. But for the most part, to answer your question, you're looking at hospitality, healthcare, and professional services.
And what's the situation in Haiti? Again, just to clarify, it's hard to know. You do read about a lot of political instability and poverty and gang violence and that kind of thing. I know that the Haitian coach, for example, that for the World Cup team hasn't even stepped foot in Haiti because of safety reasons. So, what's the situation there right now?
I mean, asking a guy like me that question is going to be very different, right?
Yeah.
Because we have our Haiti arm to the Haitian American Caucus. So, like I mentioned, we're an international nonprofit organization. So, we have our U.S. arm and then we have our Haiti arm. So, in our Haiti arm, we had a school that sat on 4.5 acres. We had close to 900 plus students at our school, elementary, junior high, and high school. We had three different buildings. We were literally like a college campus, right? Where we would have programs in the community. We had computer programs, adult literacy programs, goat breeding programs. So we serve as an institution in Haiti, right? So it's difficult for us to have a conversation about Haiti if we're not going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, for example, the media right now, if you talk about Haiti, it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. It's unsafe. It's on the no-fly zone for every single country. However, there was one of the largest concerts in the Caribbean that just happened last weekend. Thousands of people were there. There goes that thing again. Thousands of people were there. So how can there be one of the largest concerts happening in Haiti last weekend where thousands of people were there? Well, what does that mean? Hotels? No. Where did they stay? They must have stayed in the streets. No, they stayed at the top resorts and hotels. So why? How is it that this poor country, that poverty and people are crying and it's horrible, but then there was a huge festival that happened? So there is a dynamic here that it's that's not being explored, and there might be a narrative that is being pushed, right? So absolutely, when you go to Port-au-Prince, Haiti right now, it's not the safest place. I would never recommend Talib to go to Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Anderson Cooper went there about a month ago, and he had to travel with 5 different guards, and he can only stay in the area that he was in for less than 10 minutes before people started to find out that he was there. So I'm not going to sit here and say that everything that people hear in the news and the media is incorrect. I just would like to help put it in its proper context and in its proper place.
Yeah.
There are areas in London I'm sure Telly would not want me to go,
Yeah, no, that
right?
is true. Yeah.
But then he would probably want me to go to Buckingham Palace and have tea with the king, all right? So the two can exist, and I just wanted to make sure and be clear that yes, we do have poverty. Yes, people are living under $1 a day. Yes, the healthcare conditions are horrific in Haiti. However, that does not tell the story of the whole island of Haiti, even today in 2026.
Is it the case that a lot of it is to do with wealth inequality, and that the people who can afford to go to concerts and have experiences like that can do that, but then the other end is really like the really dire parts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, I have friends in Haiti that would never come to America,
Hmm.
even if you paid them. I have a friend right now in Haiti. He owns a private island where Talib, you and your family can stay, can come to the island for 22 United States dollars, for US dollars. You can have unlimited jet skis at his island. Unlimited jet skis.
I'm in, man. I'm
And
in.
it and you'll get fish and chips. Unlimited fish and chips, unlimited jet skis on his private island.
Wow.
Why is he coming to London? Why is he coming to America?
Yeah.
But that's just one side of the coin. I also have family members who are literally living on less than $1 a day.
You also hear, and we'll get into it a bit more, but some of Trump's rhetoric, right, about Haitians has been really awful. The shithole countries comment, and then more recently, this narrative about Haitian Americans eating cats and dogs and that kind of thing, right? But it's got to be said that a big reason, correct me if I'm wrong, a big reason that Haiti has a lot of the issues it does is because of American occupation back in the day, and stripping the island of its own wealth.
100%. 100%. When you look at the decisions that were made by the forefathers, I was just having this conversation earlier today with one of our religious leaders. The forefathers of every country made decisions that are impacting the country hundreds of years later. Our forefathers here in the United States ensured that we had a two-party system. That way there would never be a monarchy, right? Our forefathers wanted to make sure there's no monarchy in the United States. So we're going to create a two-party system that will constantly be fighting, constantly be going back and forth, so that there's a power shift in the United States every 4 to 8, 12 years, so that we can never actually have a monarch. In Haiti, we started with a king. Many people forget that Haiti started with a king, and the king got overthrown. There was rebellion, and because of countries like the United States that loves democracy, aka capitalism, I mean democracy, that loves democracy, we want to spread the democracy gospel all over the world. We want everybody to be have democracies, aka capitalism. We want everyone to have democracies. Democracy is democracy. We want elections, all that good stuff. But it doesn't work everywhere. It doesn't work everywhere. So I do believe that the foundations of the Republic of Haiti has really set the tone as to why we're experiencing what we're experiencing now. And then you have, all of the crusaders that want to spread the democracy all over the world. they will continue to have interest in countries that are small, so they can't afford to fight, right? And they have resources, natural resources. Let's not get into the natural resources that Haiti has. Let's not even get into that, right? So if you have the crusaders that want to spread the gospel of democracy, aka capitalism, and they have an island that has all these natural resources, one plus one will always equal two.
Yeah. And how much do Haitians in Haiti rely on Haitian Americans, on things like remittances, and then therefore, how important is it to really make sure that the Haitian American community prospers in order to also help Haitians back at home?
Yeah, well, if the gross domestic product number is literally depending on the diaspora, that's showing that the country itself is not producing. We're not producing goods and we're not selling. Our imports and exports are not doing what it needs to do. If a quarter of our GDP is dependent on foreign dollars, I think that makes a major difference. And if a country is depending on foreign dollars, but these foreigners don't have a say in its elections, don't have a say in its infrastructure development, don't have a say in its healthcare policy, doesn't have a say in its sanitary policy, then we have a problem, right? So, but to answer your question, yeah, absolutely. A quarter of Haiti's GDP is coming from outside, without these outside personnel having a decision making authority, and I think that's really it's really heartening.
Yeah. Okay, well let's talk about football, the World Cup. So Haiti have qualified for their second World Cup. The first one was in
Yes.
1974, so first one in a
Mhm.
long time. Are Haitian Americans excited for this? What does it mean to them?
Oh man, this is amazing. This is amazing. It's a sense of pride, it's a sense of nationalism. I think that it's a defining cultural moment for Haitian Americans. It's an opportunity for Haitian Americans, second, third generation, to participate in something global, right? So when you hear Haiti qualify for the World Cup, there's a global reach, there's an economic reach, but there's a historic reach as well. Now you're talking about now you have 13-year-old, 14-year-olds, right? Gen Zers who may not traditionally be connected to what's happening in Haiti or what Haiti has to offer. Now they're interested in learning because there's an excitement around the world around Haiti participating in the World Cup. So I just think that it shines a light on the excitement. It shines a light on Haitian nationalism, right? People want to be connected, whether you were born in Haiti, whether you're Haitian American, whether you have a family member or a friend. Now you want to root for Haiti because you want to be connected to that family member and that friend. So I think it brings a wealth of excitement around the world, and I'm so excited about that.
You watch any of the qualifiers, and do you have kind of events planned for the games?
Yeah, yeah, definitely watch the qualifiers. I think what it also did was it reconnected me with my father and my uncles,
Hmm.
right? Because they're watching the qualifiers. This is the Super Bowl for them, right?
Yeah.
So they're watching the qualifiers. They know the players' names by heart. So to be able to watch that with my uncles and my father, who are, they're so passionate and they're so involved, it gives you a sense of joy. It makes you want to feel like I'm a part of something. And yeah, we're going to be doing some events with some restaurants in the area. So the game against Brazil, which I think will be in Philadelphia on June 19th, we're looking to partner with a local restaurant and doing some pre-game events. Some of my friends were coming together. We're in a group chat. Hopefully, it makes it out of the group chat. But we're in a group chat right now, trying to plan some events around there. We have a lot of our friends who works for the city of Philadelphia. I'm Haitian American, so we're contacting them to see, how can we, create some events around the excitement around the game that's going to be happening on June 19th.
What about in New York? Will you have anything going on in New York?
Yeah, so New York is gonna do a lot of different things. The city of New York is already preparing for some of the games that are happening there as well. So there's a lot of Haitian restaurants, a lot of Haitian bars. They're gonna be doing some things. I think starting early May, you're gonna start seeing flyers and people are gonna start putting things on calendars so they can get involved.
Yeah, and I mean, it is quite exciting that a lot of the games are being played in places I assume have good support. So Philly, Boston, and Atlanta, right? They
Yeah.
seem like good locations for the community.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Especially with the warmer weather, and people are going to be able to connect with family members and friends, right? So if there's an event in New York and you have a cousin there, oh, I'm going to stay at your house, right? Or, hey, come meet me at the hotel lobby that I'm staying at. Or let's go back to the church. So since I'll be here Saturday, I'll stay an extra day and we'll go to the church that we grew up at. We'll go catch the service there. So it being at multiple large cities gives so much versatility and options for people who want to come and not just enjoy the game and watch the game, but also spend time with their families.
Yeah. So Haiti is one of these countries on this quote unquote travel ban list that are completely shut out of visas. Can you tell me a bit more about generally how that's affecting your community? I mean, do you have any actual insight about how this is affecting people?
No, absolutely. One of our griots, right? Griots we call storytellers. One of our griots, we were having a storytelling session. He had said something profound, and I want to read it. He said, "You can't celebrate Haiti on the field while restricting Haitians off the field." And I thought that was so profound. Here we are going to celebrate our Haitian national team on the field, but then the Haitians off the field, they don't matter, right? We can wear the Haiti country symbol, and we're going to sell T-shirts and jerseys that say Haiti on it. But then we want to deport 300,000 Haitians back to Haiti. So that narrative is a challenge. I do believe that we do have the infrastructure and the systems now to fight, right? To have these conversations. One of the religious leaders that I was talking to earlier today, he went to the Schomburg Museum, which is in New York in Harlem, and he was going through a box of artifacts and old documents, and he found documents from Shirley Chisholm. She's a former congresswoman, Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, when she was talking to the Carter administration about giving Haitians asylum and parole. This is in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So this is history repeating itself. This becomes a revolving door of immigration policy here in America dealing with Haitians. So many people might see what's happening on TV with this administration, and they might feel horrible about it. Like, I can't believe they're treating Haitians like this. But this has been a continuum of how immigration policy in the United States is just something that, that will probably never get right. So as Haitian American leaders and people who are in charge of talking to different community members and figuring out ways to get people to become permanent residents, to become citizens, to apply for the asylum, to apply for the TPS, right? Our charge is to educate our community as much as we can and get them in a place where they can try to have somewhat of a legal status if they plan to stay here. And if they don't plan to stay here, create a plan to see what is the path to get them back home safely, where they can go back to their country that they love and cherish, that we love and cherish, this beautiful Republic of Haiti, where they can have an amazing quality of life.
Yeah, so there's, I guess, two issues here, all part of the same thing. But I suppose there's people hoping to come in being banned, and there's people here who have fear of being deported, right? So, in terms of the visa bans and the travel bans, are Haitian fans just not going to be allowed to come and support their country? I mean, I think a lot of the players are actually from Europe or the US, so probably their families will likely be allowed. But for fans from Haiti who might want to come and support their team, are they just shut out?
Yeah, they are. The short answer is yes. Short answer is yes. If you don't have proper documentation, then they're not going to let you come in. So most of the people who are probably going to be at the games will be Americans, Europeans. You'll have folks from Miami, folks from, you'll have some folks from Haiti. To be clear, there is a large group of Haitians who are legal, who are still going back and forth to Haiti.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear about that. There's a large percentage of Haitian people who have a passport and they can come into the United States and they have business in the United States, but they live in Haiti, they have their homes in Haiti. Those particular folks will have the authorization to come, celebrate, and go back. There is also a large contingent of Haitians who will not be able to come due to their lack of documentation to come and see the games.
In terms of some of the people over here who are on temporary status, the TPS, right? Do you mind explaining a little bit about what that means? Because it's just one of those terms that's getting thrown around a lot, so it'll be good to hear what it actually means.
So temporary protective status was introduced for individuals who do not feel safe or there is some political instability in their country. So we want to be very clear on the distinction of the two different terms. So there's asylum, which is political asylum. So, hey, if Talib stays here, we're going to murder him. So Talib needs political asylum elsewhere because if he stays in London, the London police are going to chop his head off. Then there's temporary protective status, where Talib's family is in charge of the country and they don't like the Pierres. So since they don't like the Pierres, while they are in power, Sam has to leave. Once Talib gets overthrown, because he's going to get overthrown, then Sam can go back to London because his protective status was temporary. But here goes the $1 million question. What if the Visram family, I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, you did. You did.
What if, okay, perfect. If the Visram family is in power for 35 years, what does Sam do? Are you going to send Sam back? Especially when Talib, who is the king, said, if anybody with the last name Pierre even breathes air in London, we're going to kill them. What do you do with the Pierres? Yes, it's supposed to be temporary, but the Visram family is still in power 35 years later. And I think that is the challenge here because what was supposed to be temporary becomes a long-term instability issue. So the country that allowed the Pierres to come in, now they have to worry about the Pierres integrating in the country. The Pierres are marrying with Americans in this country. The Pierres are having children in this country. So now Samuel Pierre has Samuel Pierre Jr., who is an American now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if he's lucky, Samuel Pierre Jr. can have Samuel Pierre III by the time the Viscerum family leaves. So I hope that was a great explanation of the difference between the two terminologies and the challenge that we're faced here with the temporary protective status. Because if the country doesn't return to a stable political status or structure, then all of the TPS holders really don't have a reason to go back.
Yeah, no, that was a great explanation, man. If I and by the way, if I were king, you'd always be welcome, man.
Thank you, man.
That brings me to, if people want to cast their minds back to the 2024 presidential debate where Trump's talking about these Haitian American folks in Springfield, Ohio, eating cats and dogs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. First of all, how does that make you feel when you hear stuff like that? And what real consequences has that led to in terms of ICE and, real life threats of deportations?
I think when you're in leadership, you have to anticipate adversity and you have to understand history. I don't think you can be an effective leader of people without understanding history. If we look at the history books, who was the last president or presidential candidate to use Make America Great Again? That was good old Uncle Ronald Reagan. So what were the tactics that good old Uncle Ronald Reagan used to get the White House? Did Uncle Ronald Reagan hate Haitians? Did he hate in his heart of hearts? Did he hate them? Some people might say yes, because of the crack epidemic and black people. And he did so much horrible things. He was a racist and he hated black people so much. Make America great again. And those things might be true. But if I can offer a different perspective, if you ask my mother, who's a Haitian immigrant that immigrated into the United States, she would tell you that Ronald Reagan was the best president that she's ever experienced because he gave an amnesty in 1980 for immigrants to come to America, similarly to what President Joe Biden did with what we call the Biden program. Right? I'm painting the picture to show people that when Donald Trump gets on the stage and he says, oh, Haitians are eating cats and dogs and they're bad. If I'm not a lover of history and understand that, I can manipulate the situation to make it worse for my people. Donald Trump wins. Now he's the president of the United States in a Trump administration and White House. Do we ostracize all the resources? When we first started this conversation, I said that the mission of the Haitian-American Caucus is to provide access to information and resources to foster self-development and success for Afro-Caribbean communities and Haitian communities all over the world. Am I now an enemy of the White House due to the candidate, Donald Trump, who was leveraging narratives that were given to him so that he can occupy a seat? And am I also an enemy of the White House because he has people under him who created Project 2025 and they want to execute that plan through his voice and through his administration and through his White House? Or am I going to look at history, understand what history has taught us, and figure out a way to work with this administration, even though I know they may not like me? They may not like the fact that I'm a very handsome black man who's American, but happens to have a Haitian heritage and also represents one of the largest Caribbean communities in the Western Hemisphere. But I'm not going to take that narrative and now say I'm never going to work with Donald Trump and Donald Trump's White House, which goes against the mission that I swore to uphold when I became the executive director of this organization. So to answer your question, absolutely, we're going to admonish Donald Trump, the candidate, and we're going to put him in the trash. But Donald Trump, the president of the United States, no, 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 no. It's bigger than him because he doesn't get to stay there. This is not a monarchy. He's not a king. He doesn't get to stay in that White House forever. So while he is there, he has to. It's his responsibility to take care of the Haitians and Haitian immigrants in this country through the resources that are pouring out of his White House. So the candidate, put him in the trash, wrap him up, get him out of here. But the president that holds that office, we have to work with him because he owes and he's responsible to ensure that the resources keep pouring into our community. Again, not a popular stance. I'm sure some people are going to watch this and say, get this guy out of here. He's horrible. How could Talib have him on his show? But I have a responsibility. Now, if you want to talk offline about my political stance and how I feel, that's different. But as the executive director of the Haitian-American Caucus, whose mission is to provide access to information and resources to foster self-development and success to Afro-Caribbean communities and Haitians around the world, my responsibility is to ensure that that White House is doing their job.
So, have you had dialogues with them? If that's the aim, is that something? Have you reached out? Has there been any progress? Because Sam, like when I look at it, it doesn't look like he's even willing to have that conversation.
Absolutely. But again, I'm going to always bring it back here. I'm sorry, Talib. No matter how many twists and turns we take, I'm going to bring it back to this. There's Sam, the executive director, whose job is to get the resources. And then there's Sam, who might have his own personal political feelings. The Department of Homeland Security is a federal agency that is here to protect all of its citizens. They have to respond to every single person. But yes, we have been speaking to the Department of Homeland Security. Yes, we've been speaking to the White House. The White House has different arms. They have their intergovernmental affairs. They have their international affairs. They have events, right? I don't know if you look, but those events are not just with white people. They have African Americans at those events. They have Caribbeans in those events. They have tons of people in those events. The office of the president still has to operate. And organizations that understand history, that understand their responsibility, they still have to operate in that world. Is it separate and equal from who the president of the United States of America is and what he says? Absolutely. There are agencies and offices that are operating and running very separate narratives to what the president of the United States is saying on national television, because they have a responsibility to the organizations and the people that are out there. So, and I understand this is complex. Some people think that if this White House is racist, we're going to say this, right? If this is a racist White House, then all black people should just go to the left, and let's just sit. We're just going to sit and wait the next 4 years, and then when the next president comes in, we'll come back with our arms open. It does not work that way. They have a responsibility, and we also have a responsibility to our people. And again, Talib, if we want to talk offline about feelings, and right, sure. I'll take that hat off and who the hell does he think he is? Sure, we can do that too. But it's important to make that distinction for if there are Haitians and Haitian Americans that are going to be watching this podcast to understand that you have organizations that are going to represent you despite who is in that White House. Whether it's an Obama White House, a Bush White House, a Clinton White House, or a Trump White House, that has nothing to do with the responsibility that we have to our communities.
So what have they said? I mean, you said you've had dialogues with the DHS and with the White House. I mean, can you share what their response has been?
Oh, absolutely. And their response has been to stick to the letter of the law. So if you really think about it, and these are for the policy geeks and wonks. So when the Department of Homeland Security put the statement out that it's time for Haitians to go back home, based off of the original definition that I just gave, the T word does exist. There is a T word. We may not like how it feels, but it really is temporary. It was supposed to be temporary. If Talib says, "Hey Sam, I'm going through a tough time right now. Can I stay at your house temporarily?" And Talib brings his wife, his 3 kids, his dog, his cats to my 3-bedroom house. After a while, I'm gonna be looking at Talib like, "Hey." 2 years later, Talib bought a car. You know, what's going on, right? So if we look at the letter of the law, which is what this administration is going to be focusing on, it gives us the opportunity to have that dialogue, right? The one thing that I do appreciate about this administration is that they're going to take a very hard stance at first in the beginning, right? They're going to take a hard stance. We're the bullies. We're in charge. But once we start introducing legislation and the legality of things, I don't know if you noticed, they start backing off. And again, this is not a popular conversation. Many people would come onto this show, Talib, and be like, "We hate them. We're never working with them. They're horrible." Anyone who does that and is representing 2,000, 3,000 people, you are not doing your job. And I'm not saying they're easy. I never said that the administration is easy. I never said that it's easy to negotiate and work with them, but you have to negotiate and work with them.
I suppose the reality on the ground, and you tell me because you know more, but I've done a couple of episodes on how Hispanic folks are feeling in places like Miami with the World Cup coming up, because there's been rumors. I say rumors because they keep going back and forth, but ICE may be going to be at World Cup stadiums to put fear into people. They're already at airports, right? So with these threats against Haitian Americans from ICE and places like that, I mean, is that a worry for, I mean, just generally in life, but also during the World Cup to show up and support your team, but also have that worry in the back of your mind that you're going to get picked up?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I'm a realist at the same time, right? I can represent a group of people and also be a realist. So, yes, ICE is real. I'm not going to stand here on your show to even say that ICE is not. No, no, ICE is a real thing. They have an agenda. They have an agenda and they want to pick people up. So, like I said earlier, our job as leaders is to arm our communities with information on what to do if you're ever caught in that situation. If you're in this country illegally, or your permanent residency card may have expired, or you're just in a weird limbo state, you might want to be very careful if you're going to come watch the World Cup. I'm not going to tell you not to come. Come enjoy yourself. But you just have to be careful because they are going to come. They do have an agenda, right? I'm not sitting here saying that they don't have an agenda. They do have an agenda. They have an agenda for the people that voted them in, who are racist, who do believe in American nationalism, who do believe in white supremacy. There's a lot of people who voted for the president that believe in that, and they want to hold him accountable to what he said he would do if he became president. And he has to show these people that he is staying true to the campaign promises that he made. But when you understand that, two things can exist at the same time. The president of the United States can want to make Talib happy because Talib hates black people. Talib is a racist, and Talib gave him $4 million. So the president of the United States can make Talib happy and say, hey, I'm going to deport all of the Haitians back home while also creating programs for African Americans and immigrants so that they can go to college for free in America, right? Community colleges. Those two things can exist. And I think the challenge is figuring out how to navigate that. Because on one breath, you'll hear that President Trump is doing all these things to Venezuelans and Haitians and, all those things. And then the next breath, he's doing economic empowerment zones. He's creating opportunities for entrepreneurs. He's cutting down taxes. And I'm not representing him here. I'm not a spokesman for the White House, please. I'm just telling everyone the reality of what's happening. So as the leaders, our job is to educate our people. If you don't have a legal status in the United States and you want to come to the World Cup, you have to be careful because ICE will take you. ICE is a real thing and they have an agenda. They have benchmarks to meet. They don't play fair. They break the law. They're horrible. And this administration has given them the green light to do whatever it takes to meet that mandate, which is horrible. Let's be clear. That is very bad and horrible. So that is very real. But at the same time, if you are a permanent resident and you're a citizen and ICE picks you up, hey, we have the attorneys for you because we're going to sue them and we're going to make a lot of money. Right? So, like, this is where, right, we navigate that dynamic. So I just wanted, I wanted to be very clear there. Yes, we can point at the monster. That is a monster and he's there while also understanding the world that we live in. We do have rights and we do have relationships that's going to protect our quality of life. Sorry if I was long-winded on that one. You got me a little passionate, Talib.
Not at all, man. I appreciate you speaking, your truth. With all that in mind, then, what does the World Cup present as an opportunity to tell a different story to Americans and to the world about Haiti and Haitians?
I think this World Cup, it shows that the Haitians are resilient and we're talented. I think that there's a global relevance here. We are relevant. We matter. We matter. Let's look at Venezuela. Imagine a world where the president of the United States goes in and captures the president of Venezuela. Ha ha ha, we got him. Yay. Only for Venezuela to beat the United States in the International Major League Baseball World Tournament. Imagine that. What a spit in the face, right? Look at you guys. Ha ha ha. So imagine the sense of pride that it gave Venezuelans, right? To see that this big bad wolf with this big tanker and all the machines came and they thought they took our president and they destroyed us, only for us to come and beat them in the baseball World Cup, right? So I think sports has a way of giving people that the sense of pride and the sense of ownership that despite what's happening around the world, this game is being done here on the field. And we're representing how the people feel. I think sports has that power to say, hey, there might be issues happening politically, but we're going to take it out right here on the field and we're going to represent who we represent. So Haiti potentially winning the World Cup when right now we don't even have a president, when right now we have instability, right now there's travel bans, or right now they're deporting people. Imagine what that would do for the sense of pride of Haitians all over this world, right? Despite people thinking that we're nothing and we're a shithole country and we are worthless people, we came and beat all these countries and teams who we know are of value. So I think that's where the pride is. Even if we don't win the World Cup, if we win a game, if we go to the playoffs, like these are things that we can be happy and prideful about and be able to say, hey, if we can do this, what else can we do? Right? How can we make our country better? And I think that's why this matters.
I think you also might have the world rooting for Haiti because it's funny. I just recorded another episode about the image of the US team right now and how they used to be this scrappy underdog, but now they might be the villains. Where a team like Haiti might actually be the world might want to back them.
Yes, and I think that's true. I have so many friends who are not Haitian that have called me and contacted me and tell me, I'm rooting for Haiti, man. I'm rooting for Haiti. Haiti needs this. This is great, right? Because this is great for Haitian nationalism, like I said, the Haitian economy, because even though Haitians may not be able to come to the US for the World Cup, imagine the events that are happening in Haiti. Imagine people who are traveling to Haiti to participate in the events. That's only going to help the Haitian economy. So I do believe that there are other people, other nations, other countries that are going to be supporting Haiti in our World Cup quest.
Recently, The Athletic did a ranking of all 48 teams, and Haiti was 48 of 48. And they're in Brazil's group. Morocco is in that group too. It's going to be tough, man. What are your predictions? How do you see them doing?
Haiti beats everybody. Okay. Listen, 48 or 48, what do we expect, right? Absolutely, people are going to feel that way. It's our job to show, but this is not the first time we had to do that. I don't know. A long, long time ago. I'm not sure. Forgive me. I'm a historian. I think it was what, 1803, 1802, because that's when the war began. The war ended in 1804, but I think 1802, they'll never beat Napoleon. Napoleon, are you kidding me? That little tiny little island there, Napoleon is going to wipe the floor with them. This is a joke. This thing will be done in a day. Start calling that island Little Napoleon, okay? Because this is it's easy. Yeah, 48 out of 48. Yeah, look at them. Only for us to be the first country to gain its independence. The first. Yeah, we were 48, just like we're 48 now. But I don't know, 1802, we were the first. Maybe 2026, we might be the first, right? So this is why, going back to our history of who we are and our resiliency, we're used to this. We were the underdog system, the 1700s, we were the underdog. When France thought they could just come here and do whatever they want with us, okay, Brazil's gonna think they're gonna come and do whatever they want with us too. So Morocco. And it'll be up to us to show them why we were the first when everyone thought we were the 48th.
Yeah, well, that's a great note a great positive note to end on, Sam. I really appreciate you taking the time. This has been great. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Talib. And if anyone out there is interested in learning about the Haitian-American Caucus, please feel free to visit us at our website, www.hacus.org, to learn more about how you can join. It's a free membership to be a part of HAC. All we ask is that you share, follow us on our social media, look at our website, check us out, join our programs, and share information with our fellow Haitian Americans.
Great. And I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for any events going on during the World Cup in New York.
Absolutely, Salim. We're in touch, and I'll send them over to you.
Yeah.
And and hopefully, if you're around, and we'll enjoy Haiti winning the World Cup together.